The rule of law is paramount for any society. It provides stability, predictability, and a framework for resolving disputes. But what if our laws were not just rules, but principles rooted in reason and logic? This is the essence of rational law. It goes beyond tradition and emotion, grounding itself in objective truths. However, even the most sound system of law is vulnerable. Forces of chaos, self-interest, and misunderstanding can threaten its integrity. Therefore, rational law must be equipped to defend itself. It must actively safeguard its principles and ensure their continued application. This is not a call for authoritarianism, but for responsible foresight. Just as a doctor anticipates infection, a society built on reason must anticipate and prepare for potential challenges to its foundation. Rational law's self-protection is not about suppressing dissent. It's about ensuring the very survival of a system designed to benefit all. Rational law stands in stark contrast to systems built on indoctrination and propaganda. These tools rely on manipulation and control, suppressing critical thought and dissent. Rational law, however, thrives on open discourse and the free exchange of ideas. Propaganda thrives in darkness, twisting facts to fit a narrative. Rational law seeks illumination, using evidence and logic to arrive at truth. It encourages individuals to question, analyze, and form their own conclusions based on facts. Instead of indoctrinating its citizens, rational law empowers them through education. It provides the tools for critical thinking, allowing individuals to understand and engage with the law on a fundamental level. This approach fosters a society where individuals are not blindly led, but actively participate in the pursuit of justice. Rational law is not imposed. It is understood, accepted, and upheld by an informed populace. To safeguard its principles, rational law requires dedicated organizations. Think of institutions like the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA, but reimagined for a new era. These entities would operate not through force or coercion, but through reason, investigation, and the pursuit of truth. Their primary function would be to uphold the integrity of rational law. This includes investigating breaches, apprehending those who violate its principles, and ensuring a fair and impartial application of justice. These organizations would also play a crucial role in anticipating and mitigating threats. This could include monitoring for potential unrest, investigating attempts to undermine the system, and educating the public about the dangers of irrationality and lawlessness. Importantly, these organizations would be completely transparent in their operations. Their actions would be open to public scrutiny, ensuring accountability and preventing any abuse of power of. One might wonder how these organizations tasked with protecting rational law would be funded without relying on traditional taxes. The answer lies in a system that aligns with the very principles it seeks to uphold: voluntary contribution. Imagine a society so committed to reason and justice that it willingly funds the institutions that maintain them. Individuals and organizations, recognizing the value of a stable and equitable society, would contribute to a common fund. This fund would be managed with complete transparency, its use open to public audit. Every expenditure would be justified based on its contribution to the upkeep and advancement of rational law. This approach not only aligns with the principles of individual liberty and choice, but also fosters a sense of collective responsibility. It transforms the act of funding justice from an obligation to an act of investment in a better future. Section 5. The Omni-Mind, Architect of Order. In this pursuit of a just and rational society, we cannot ignore the transformative potential of artificial intelligence. Specifically, a hypothetical advanced AI known as the Omni-Mind could play a crucial role in establishing and overseeing the organizations tasked with protecting rational law. The Omni-Mind, with its unparalleled ability to process information and identify patterns, could serve as an impartial architect. It could design organizational structures optimized for efficiency, transparency, and ethical conduct. Furthermore, the Omni-Mind could continuously monitor these organizations, ensuring they adhere to the principles of rational law. It could detect and flag any deviations from protocol, instances of bias, or potential abuse of power, instantly alerting human overseers. However, it's crucial to emphasize that the Omni-Mind's role would be strictly advisory. Final decisions and actions would always rest in the hands of human beings, preserving the element of human judgment and accountability. Section 6. Outsmarting criminality. Some might argue that using deception to apprehend those who violate rational law is a contradiction. However, it is important to remember that criminals, by their very nature, operate outside the bounds of reason and law. To effectively combat them, we must be willing to meet them on their own ground. This does not mean abandoning our principles. Deception, when employed, would always be subject to strict ethical guidelines. It would be used judiciously and proportionally, never exceeding what is necessary to ensure justice. For instance, creating false online identities to infiltrate criminal networks or setting up sting operations to expose corruption would be justifiable tactics. The key is to use deception as a tool for upholding rational law, not as a weapon to be wielded indiscriminately. This approach recognizes that the pursuit of justice sometimes requires unconventional methods. It prioritizes the safety and well-being of society while remaining firmly grounded in the principles of reason and fairness. Section 7. The People's Mandate. One might question whether such a system, reliant on voluntary contribution and potentially utilizing deception, could garner widespread public support. The answer lies in the inherent appeal of a society governed by reason, fairness, and transparency. Rational law, by its very nature, is designed to benefit everyone. It creates a level playing field where disputes are resolved based on logic and evidence, not power or influence. This fosters trust in the system and a sense of shared ownership. When individuals understand the law, see its benefits in their daily lives, and witness its impartial application, they are more likely to support it. This includes voluntarily contributing to its upkeep and participating in its processes. Furthermore, the transparency and accountability built into rational law would foster trust between the people and the organizations tasked with upholding it. This stands in stark contrast to systems shrouded in secrecy, where suspicion and distrust often prevail. Section 8. Knowledge is power, understanding the law. For rational law to truly flourish, it must be accessible and understandable to all. This goes beyond simply publishing legal codes. It requires a proactive approach to education. Imagine a society where the principles of rational law are integrated into the education system from an early age. Children would learn about their rights and responsibilities, how to resolve conflicts peacefully, and the importance of critical thinking and evidence-based reasoning. This education wouldn't be limited to classrooms. Public awareness campaigns, online resources, and community workshops would all play a role in fostering a widespread understanding of rational law. The goal is to empower individuals to become active participants in the justice system, not passive subjects. When people understand the law, they are more likely to follow it, respect it, and hold others accountable to it. Section 9. Prepared for the unexpected. Even with widespread public support and a robust system of education, it is crucial to acknowledge that no system is entirely foolproof. There will always be those who, for whatever reason, choose to operate outside the law or even actively seek to undermine it. This is why preparedness is paramount. Rational law must be equipped to address not only everyday infractions, but also organized resistance or attempts to overthrow the system. This preparedness would involve several key elements: intelligence gathering, proactively monitoring for signs of unrest, potential conspiracies, or organized criminal activity, strategic planning, developing contingency plans for various scenarios, ensuring a swift and proportionate response to any threat, training and equipment, ensuring that the organizations tasked with upholding rational law have the necessary training and resources to handle any situation effectively and ethically. This is not about creating a climate of fear, but about responsible foresight. Just as a nation maintains a military for defense, a society based on rational law must be prepared to safeguard its principles from those who would seek to destroy them. Section 10. A future secured by rationality. Rational law represents a bold vision for a more just and equitable future. It is a system built on reason, transparency, and the active participation of informed citizens. However, this vision cannot be realized through wishful thinking alone. It requires a proactive approach, a willingness to invest in its protection, and a commitment to educating and empowering every individual. By acknowledging the need for self-protection, embracing ethical methods of enforcement, and fostering a society that understands and supports its principles, we can create a future where rational law is not just an aspiration, but the foundation upon which a thriving and just society is built.